Yeah, good point. And hello, everybody. Hello. And welcome to the Go Home Wrestling Pop-Up Show, actually. I guess is what you could say. Welcome, everybody. Yes, this is a rare occasion where we're going to be able to do a day show. I got my kid to nap, so she's going to be good for at least an hour. So we'll go about 45 minutes to an hour, and we're going to chat about things that are going on that we wouldn't really normally cover on our show that's weekly, every Saturday night, 11 p.m. for the people in here, you know, or watching this later on. I mean, I guess we can discuss one thing on Raw.
Yeah.
I'm going to go off the cuff here, and Renee Young, I wanted to discuss that with you, and I didn't mention it because I wasn't thinking maybe we should wait till Saturday, but we can always recover it because whoever's going to watch that show Saturday might not even catch this one. So we could discuss it again. I want to say to you real quick, what did you think of her performance on Monday night? Because for people that don't know, look, before I have your answer, for the people that don't know and didn't see it, because there's some people that just get the cliff notes of what happened. Renee Young filled in for Jonathan Coachman because he was doing the long drive challenge for the PGA Tour, or for the Golf Channel, and therefore she stepped in, and it's also a part of the women's revolution with the pay-per-view coming up. So I guess it was just to give her some experience, because she did it before in NXT, but I guess she's going to be one of the people to do it for women's evolution. So based on for what you saw and what you heard, what did you think of it, D-Shep?
For the first show, you gotta give her a solid 9 out of 10. I mean, it was as perfect of a color commentator debut from someone brand new at it, essentially, that I've heard in a long, long time. The only thing a few people noted on Twitter, and I kind of agreed with it, the only part that was irritating was after every big move, she seemed to go, oh! That was a little uncomfortable, but she stopped doing that probably halfway through the show, and that calmed down, but I would give her a solid 9 out of 10, no doubt.
Again, she was trying to, get a response. That's her response to what's going on. I mean, can't really fault her for that. I mean, and
no, that was my only. That's nitpicking at that point.
Yeah,
that's just nitpicking.
Well, I get what you're saying there, but also, she's filling in for Coachman, and when you really think about Coachman's role wasn't saying as much as she did. When you think about it, he doesn't say a lot, and
no, actually, Corey Graves felt more like the third wheel in this scenario.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, you're definitely right on that. And you know what? I think he backed off because he knew the importance. Because I think, weren't they doing it together? Because at that point, he retired. Wasn't he injured? And was starting to do commentary with her? Or was that before, obviously he started after.
I'm not 100% sure. Because I know he was calling in NXT for a while with somebody. I just don't remember who.
Yeah, it was before Mora went down there because of the issues he was having.
Yeah, evidently he didn't want to shake JBL's hand.
Jesus. We'll get into that in a little bit. But I want to know because this is how I see it. I see what they're doing, and it's great what they're doing. Well, there you go. What they're doing with the whole women's revolution, and I mean, like I said, at the end of the day, the one thing that does bother me about the whole thing is that they're trying to play it off that they're the first to do it. They weren't the first to do it. You had two other promotions.
I don't think with the commentator thing they were really pumping that out there like that.
I think so in a way.
They were pumping her out. I don't think they were pumping the fact that she was a female doing it. They made a couple comments in the first half hour where they said Renee Young making history tonight on Raw. It is history for Raw. Yeah, it's a slight, slick way to kind of say make history overall, and I get that. I can respect that, but I don't think they name dropped it that much. I was comfortable with the.
Oh, they promoted the shit out of it. There you go.
I felt like they promoted her more than her sex, but that was what I thought from it.
Okay, well, that's your opinion. You're entitled to that. Mama's Got Game, welcome. I just, like I said, I do enjoy I did enjoy it, like her commentary though. It did bring something different. Yeah, it did.
I would much rather have her than Coach.
Coachman, I always felt was a good backstage guy.
Yeah, I would switch roles and put him backstage, have Renee out there commentating. It gives something different, even if it's not original. Even if they want to go out there and clap to the fans by saying, "Oh my God, this is so original," I don't care. It's different and it's good. It brought some life to the commentary team that was sorely needed. It doesn't matter to me that she was a female. She brought life. When Coach returned to the commentary team, all that did was bring it down and seemed like it slow-paced it even more than it already was. I felt like she brought life to it. It don't matter to me that she's a female.
Yeah, and it's only slow-paced because they're being told, they're being fed what to say. That's the thing I don't like. Because if you listen to 03, Michael Cole compared to now, you see a big difference.
Glad. Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely. And people shit on Michael Cole. It's like, oh, he's awful anymore. Oh, why is that? Because he's being fed everything to say. He can't go by through his emotions to interpret to get the wrestler over. It seems like Vince doesn't have that trust in the announcers anymore to get the wrestlers over, like they used to back in the day. Because the king of that was the King and JR. Those two, whether the heel version or the face version, them two together got the wrestler over and got heat for certain wrestlers. Like, think of the moment when Stone Cold turned on The Rock. Who was going, "You son of a bitch, I can't believe it." Like, you felt the anger, whether if it was real or not. Obviously it wasn't, but still.
Or you felt the pop if it was JR. Stone Cold, Stone Cold, Stone Cold. You felt emotion. And to me, to a certain degree, that's what Renee gave us.
It was it was definitely different.
To all the insiders, the people that know all, supposedly she got a lot of slack from Vince, like he didn't nitpick her, which obviously that won't stay, probably. Maybe he gave her a longer leash because it was her first time out, wanted to make a big deal, see where sink or swim, you know? But supposedly that's the rumor going around, that he talked and told Graves and Cole what to say more than he did Renee.
I could see that, probably to see where she lacks, where she, like, it's your strengths and your weaknesses. That, I think that's what that was.
Supposedly she said in an interview, and you got to take that a grain of salt, obviously, because it's a WWE sponsored interview, but she said the only thing that he told her to do was to slow down at times. And I did notice that, like, she would just go kind of on and on a couple times.
Well, I think that, you're right.
Annoying, though. She just, to me, she sounded like an excited girl. Not to throw a sex term out there, but she sounded like she was super excited to be doing what she was doing. Well, yeah, she got a little carried away at times, maybe, sure, but who wouldn't? Well,
you know what? It's a great opportunity for her, and you know what? Again, I mean, it is the women's revolution. They're trying to, put them on the same level as the men. I don't have an issue whatsoever.
But they did with her contract. If you remember, though, a year and a half ago, they did promise her opportunities. They never clarified what those were going to be, but they had to include that in her updated contract because ESPN was trying to get her, and they were offering more money. So what WWE conquered is, if we can't match that quite with the money, then we're going to promise opportunities.
Well, you know what? She should have the opportunities, and then again, we always said if there was a possibility for them to have their own show, maybe the third hour where Raw is, 10 to 11 spot. If they were to go that route, she should be the one that does the commentary. She should be the Moro for that brand.
If they went, you know how I feel that I don't want to see that, but if that's what we got, then if she's not the lead commentator, they're doing a disservice.
But you know what? Here's the thing. If you do give them their own show, you could still sprinkle the women into the shows.
No, and I'm not saying that you couldn't.
Yeah, they could do it that way.
It just, I don't know. I'm just not down with the whole concept, but that's a whole much longer discussion. I could list off reasons for days why I'm not into it. But if you're going to do it, I just want to see it done right.
Yeah, it's got to be done right. Definitely. I agree with you on that.
I mean, I think it's set up on a silver platter that if you're going to do it, you do Renee Young and Beth Phoenix and call it a day. You can tape your shows ahead of time. Beth Phoenix wouldn't have to work a lot as a mother, with Edge's kids and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
So you could set that up where you could get Beth Phoenix to do it with her, too. And I think it would be phenomenal.
Oh, yeah, they'll probably do it in Florida with NXT.
You know what? In all honesty, I'd probably tune in more for the commentary than I would the actual.
But you know what? The commentary could say a lot for a match, though. I mean, a match could be kind of like,
That's what I'm saying. For me to get into that women's show, I might need that hook of the commentary team to get me invested in the product.
Well,
maybe that's why I don't like 205 Live. Yeah, I just don't get excited enough because the times I have seen it, the announcers don't get me excited about it. That's me, though.
It seems Nigel. Yeah, Nigel gets more excited when they do the UK NXT not the UK, the NXT shows. You get more excitement out of him with that. But then when they do
night and day on the two shows.
Yeah, the 205, it's way different. You get a way different Nigel. Of course, Percy's a part of that too. And I think he comes off differently too, because the way Percy's gotten better, because I listened to his commentary about a year ago, wasn't all that great. He's gotten a lot better since then. Kurt Hawkins is the greatest thing to happen in wrestling. Yes, it is, King. They see that, you know what? He's a great talent, but I don't know what's with that losing streak. I don't get that. I really didn't get that. Of course, you can call the show right now if you have any frustrations whatsoever. It can be about anything. This is just a general pop-up show. There is no format. We just talk about a few subjects. We shoot the shit about wrestling. And it could be non-WWE related. And if it's something I'm not familiar with, I'll tell you. And so with D-Shep, call the show right now, 720-835-5007. And then when you get in there, make sure you hit that PIN number, 16790, and you'll come in here and you'll chat with us. There you go. Almost as green as Jade Walker.
I do have another prediction I want to throw out here because of what's been going on at Raw for the past month or two.
What's that?
Keep an eye on Kurt Hawkins. I am telling you right now, we're going to get a Kurt Hawkins push within the next 2-3 months.
You think it's a different type of build like the Mojo Rawley one?
No. It's coming back. Him and Ryder. I'm telling you right now, it's coming back. Because think about it.
What, to build the tag team division?
Well, you got Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt about done because you see what Hardy was tweeting on Instagram, and we can get into all that too. He was tweeting like it was possibly his last match. Then you see the way they're shitting on AOP. Now, I want you to think back. Every backstage segment you've seen with Ryder, he shows up in the background somewhere. Each and every time you've seen Ryder on your television for Raw, Kurt Hawkins has been standing right next to him. Every one.
Okay.
I am telling you, it's coming back soon, and I wouldn't be surprised if it comes back real soon in dark matches, just to see what kind of reaction they're going to get and test that waters, because they're going to need more tag teams on Raw. The tag team division was, not very big to begin with, but I'm telling you, I think it's going to happen.
All right. King, the King JR said he had a question on Rusev Day. So I'm assuming you're talking about the situation with Rusev and Andrade Cien Almas. See, we're going to be covering that in our show Saturday night at 11 p.m. Make sure you don't miss it. The Go Home Wrestling Show. This is the pop-up show, of course, but I guess we can cover it in a little bit. I liked where they were going with him about a month ago. He was the rare getting that chance at the title. I like that. Had a great match with AJ Styles. I think it was just like planting the seeds. Stupid Loser Boys, thank you for the host. They're from Wrestling College. Make sure if you're in here, I'll give you permission. Just type in there. I'll give you permission. Put a link. Pretty good show. They do it Wednesdays at noon. So there you go. Wrestling College, and Stupid Loser Boys is one of the hosts of that show. There he is. Hold on. You know what? I'll put it in there for you. The one thing I'll say about Rusev is that after getting that great opportunity, they were planting the seed to see what he could do, and I think he did a pretty good job. Oh, there you go. It went through. There you go. Make sure you give them a follow. They have a good show. With that opportunity, then they put him with Cien Almas, which I don't know if you agree with this, D-Shep. I think I agree with this storyline. I think they could build something out of this, and I think their first initial one was try to get the women, like Lana coming out there into the women's scene, and also to put Zelina Vega from their manager role, the business associate role, to now that in wrestling. Because when she was outside, like a House of Hardcore and a couple other promotions, that's what she was. Oh, no problem, man. No problem for the shout out. I mean, we create a family here. That's how we are. So
was she on TNA also as
yeah.
Serena, I think it was?
Mm-hmm. I remember I mostly saw her work from last year with the House of Hardcore. She was there. What's up, Turtle? Welcome, my friend. Yeah, but now they want to ditch the Aiden. I see. Now, this is what I see. Now that they have the new role with Zelina Vega as a business associate and wrestler, I have a feeling, and again, we could talk about this on Saturday night, but do you feel that there's going to be a turn where Aiden will go on that side now? And could it be possible? Could it work if they try it?
I don't think it's going to be a full-fledshed turn like he's going to go on their side and stuff like that, but I do think he's going to turn on Rusev and Lana to set up a Rusev-Aiden feud, though.
It'll be a one-off, and yeah, it'll be a one-off, and then they eventually were going into a program with Cien Almas, because I'll tell you, those are two guys that need to be at mid-card, and that would be a perfect rivalry to keep it at mid-card. And if the writing continues to be as good as it is on SmackDown, it would definitely work. King JR said, what about Apollo Crews? Do you think he's being wasted? Completely wasted. Great talent. Worst thing they could have done with him was to put him on Raw. I get the whole Titus Worldwide. I like it. I think it's funny. But as far as being a serious competitor in the WWE, that's not the role for him. He had a good chance on SmackDown. Chasing for the IC title. He had a couple of shots. I think eventually he could have been one of the guys that won it. Just, that's how I feel about that. What do you feel about the Apollo Crews?
Well, first of all, they think my audio's low again, so I don't know if that messed up again or not.
All right, let me check it out.
Pretty much, I don't know if he's been wasted, but I don't know if you can say that at the moment, though. He's won, like, a match the last 3 straight weeks now, though. I mean, yeah, wasted altogether, sure, but, I mean, he has been getting wins lately, so maybe
yeah, but, come on. They're like filler matches. They're not exactly the greatest.
No, I'm not saying they are, but they wanted him to be a more athletic Bobby Lashley when he first debuted, and once they started to realize they were going to get the real dog, eventually, they just like kicked him to the curb like a broke down dog or something. Just, I'm done with you.
Yeah, I think eventually he'll get a good opportunity. But yeah, we discussed about the New Day thing with the breakup in the past. Like, I hope like Apollo breaks away from Titus Worldwide and really does something with his makes a run for something. I'm hoping Big E would be that guy for New Day to do that. Very same thing, but for the world title picture. When they
break away from the
oh god, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hopefully that went up. There was another thing before that. I thought there was something else I saw. But the whole Aiden, the finish off the Aiden thing, that's what's going to happen. I feel a turn is going to happen. Whether it goes along with Zelina Vega and Almas, could it work? I don't know. I mean, the Reddit's been good enough on SmackDown. There's been a couple things they missed out on. You okay there, pal?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm making sure. I was not going to try to power through it and not ask my buddy if he's okay. All right, cool. They need to give Kurt Hawkins the Universal title.
Yeah, that's going a little too far, homie.
Yeah, he's trolling us at this point. King, stop trolling.
Whoever your employer needs to drug test you right now.
Exactly. Kurt Hawkins at best.
And I love me some Kurt Hawkins, but not that damn much.
Yeah, probably the most mid-card title I see U.S. title. I mean, you could change your minds. I mean, here we go. I got a question for you. And people in chat, I mean, you can call the show, 720-835-5007. When you get in there, hit that pin number 16790. You can talk with us. Anything you want to chat about, anything you are annoyed with in the world of WWE. And it could be something else. It could be Impact. It could be Ring of Honor. But if it is something we don't know, we'll be honest and tell you we don't know. And you can refresh us and we can look into it.
Or if it's garbage, like 205 Live.
Oh, you shut the fuck up. Well, you know what? Let's go on that real quick, pal. What the fuck? Yeah, okay. I was excited for the Cedric Alexander. Oh, God.
You can't even think of it.
Gulak. I'm brain farting. I'm brain farting. I'm brain farted, you jackass. You're fired. Shut up. I'm sorry. Oh, shut your mouth. Like, you don't brain fart? Asshole. Fuck off. He's
That
breaking
was
my
good.
balls. Nah, it's cool. It's cool. I know. We're just ribbing. You know, unlike some people, I could take a rib.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we'll get into that in a little bit too. But yeah, I'm actually pissed. And I'll get to your thing, the King on Machine Cage, Brian Cage, dude, great wrestler. But how funny! I know you'll be happy with it, but I'm not happy with the fact that they pushed the cruiserweight title into the kickoff show.
But
My
are you
point-
surprised?
I like 205 Live. I love the wrestling. I didn't get to see last night's episode. I didn't get a chance yet. I had a lot on my plate today. And I could watch it now, but I decided to do a stream with my buddy here instead. But I will catch it. But I'm a little upset that it's going to be on the kickoff show and not on the main card. Maybe put freaking Baron Corbin and Balor. As much as I love Corbin, but another Corbin and Balor match, maybe you throw that in the kickoff show. Put a title match like the 205 Cruiserweight title on the line on the main show. That's just my opinion. Your thoughts?
I got a question. I do have a rebuttal question.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Go ahead.
No, and this is not meant as a diss on 205 Live. It's really not.
Okay.
But what do you think is more likely? Because there's two main things you want. You want a women's show of some kind someday, and you want to see that 205 title defended on a pay-per-view, not the kickoff, right? Those are two things you want eventually?
Yeah.
So, which one do you think is more likely to happen?
Women's.
That's sad, isn't it?
To be on the main?
In a way.
No, I won't say it's sad because
the women that have their own show is more likely than getting the cruiserweight title defended on the main card.
Oh, I thought you were talking like if they were to get their own show and then.
That's what I'm saying. Are we ever going to actually see the cruiserweight title defended on the main show? It's always on the kickoff.
I don't know, man.
Serious.
They get just as good numbers. They even said that because they got to give their annual thing and they got downloads and all this and they got to let this information come out. They get just as much downloads for 205 Live as they do for NXT. So obviously there is a fan base for it.
No, and I get that there is. My only rebuttal to that is if they want people to respect and take 205 Live seriously, then you need to put it on the main card. Would be my rebuttal. You know, like, you're a fan of it. You love the show. You tune in every week. You love that shit. And that's fine.
Oh, I'm going to work for it now, yeah.
That you're into it.
Yep.
Why ain't that shit on the main card? I get, okay, you took it off Raw because you gave them their own show. That's fine. Yeah, whatever. But even though I hate the show, I still think the title should be on the main card.
Exactly. And
Every
mm-hmm.
title match should always be on the main card.
Golf clap for Mr. D Shep here. By the way, for people wondering, he's playing Madden. He doesn't want to be on cam as he's playing, so he is one of the few guys that are on the show of the Go Home Wrestling show. D Shep, make sure. I just wanted to make sure everyone knew who I'm talking to.
No, I understand. That's when the title was relevant. Is when Enzo had it.
Yeah, exactly.
To non-205 fans like
hey,
me,
she was too.
That's when it was relevant. Now, when you had maybe that's a shot at the division. I don't know, because when you had Neville with it, he was defended on the main card.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
When you had Enzo, he was defended on the main card. So is that
I think if Gulak gets it,
because they don't have that name.
I feel if they get Gulak, if Alexander drops the title to him, I think he'd be a good candidate that, bring it back to the main card. I think it should be no matter what. If you got the same exact views, because you could tell with the network, you could see that. Same exact downloads, views, or however you will put it, as NXT. And you know how popular that NXT brand is. I mean, exactly. If it's almost at the same level, they said it's pretty damn close, but NXT edges them off. Of course, they ought to. If you're getting that much, why wouldn't you cater to that fan base and put their title match on the main card? Maybe put a match that you've seen a few times already in the kickoff show. And then people
they are considered main roster. Yes,
yeah.
They are considered main roster.
Yeah, they're considered main roster. What's this about you? We're talking wrestling. Right now we're talking about 205 Live. Not anymore. It's purgatory.
Weird.
Yeah, it seems that way.
Kinda. Well, when you had guys like Enzo and Kalisto and Neville and oh my God, it could have been so much greater. Like that's what's missing for me. You need some of the big names. I get that these guys are great wrestlers. I'm not even going to dispute that.
I enjoy the matches very much, but you know what? That's where you got right there. There's like 1 or 2 matches. They got to have more of a story. They should have.
I need to just give me 2 or 3 big names in there to mix it up.
Well,
I mean, when Austin Aries was doing it, that was badass. Neville, Kalisto, hell, even if you ever got Rey Mysterio to do it, not that he would probably, because he thinks he's a heavyweight. So that's probably a different discussion. But when you got to have that draw for the casual, and that's the only thing that 205 is probably missing, in my opinion.
You're right.
I'm a casual when it comes to 205 Live. I will admit that wholeheartedly. I need that draw for me to tune in.
Okay.
Me,
okay. You used to have a YouTube channel. Well, keep plugging away. It's got to plug. What'd you do your show on? I'm actually curious about that. That's pretty cool. Let me address this, and then we'll go back to the 205. Machine Cage, he's a great wrestler. He's going to be the face of Impact within a year. Mark my words, that X Division title that he won recently is just a step to where the ultimate goal is. They're going to make him world champion. You already see them planting the seeds for that. There's going to be probably a champion, too, before that. After Arias, and then eventually it'll get to him. That's my feelings on that. Back to the 205, I think maybe if Rey Mysterio were to come back, yeah, he would go to 205 Live. I think that would be better for him, because if he was to go for the main roster, what do you think they're going to do with him? They would do to him what they're doing to Shelton Benjamin, even though Shelton Benjamin's doing good.
No, there is no way they would do what they're doing to Shelton Benjamin.
I think they would in a way.
No, and the only reason I say this, and this is not because I'm a racist, it has everything to do with race when it comes to Rey Mysterio. They would not do to Shelton what they're doing, or they wouldn't do to Rey what they're doing to Shelton. They want to push a Latino star, and that's not me trying to say anything.
No, it's getting to I get what you're saying. You want to get that Latino population to watch the show. I get what you're saying. It's not saying that that's not. It's not a negative way. It's not a negative way.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying.
I hate putting the race card out there, but when it comes to
well, no, they're going after Demo.
If you're giving me Shelton Benjamin on one hand, you're giving me Rey Mysterio on the other hand, I am telling you right now, WWE is going to be more judgmental for Rey.
Chewy is too. Thank you for the follow.
Doubt in my mind.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, because they did that back in '97 with the Royal Rumble. They were going after the Alamo Dome. And at that time, they weren't drawing dick with the live shows or pay-per-views. They weren't getting more than 10,000. And then they get a big arena like the Alamo Dome to host a Royal Rumble. What did they do to draw the Latino population there in San Antonio? They got the AAA stars to come in the Royal Rumble. One of them was in a match. They catered to the Latino population by bringing in people that they knew. So I get what you're saying with that. It's just another version of that. Again, I get what you're saying. They're going to a demographic.
I know it's like that, but I hate putting that out there because it's a sad world that we live in where.
Yeah, I know we are divided.
A guy like Shelton Benjamin is just as talented, if not more talented, than Rey Mysterio is at this moment. But Rey Mysterio is more likely to get that comeback push because of his race. That's fucked up.
I don't know. I don't know about that. He would never get a title push like he did in the past. There was too many people in line for that.
No, he's going to get some kind of push. I guarantee. I would be.
I think he should go to 205.
Oh, I think so too. But it's a difference between what we think is best and what the pinheads.
Okay, I get what you're saying, and let me reiterate because some people might take this the wrong way. What they're doing, what he was saying for people is that. They think they were catered, that they will push him more because they're more worried about getting another population or another demographic than the others. I get, that's the best way you could say it.
You gotta think, look how long Ray has been gone from mainstream WWE. Not the appearances the last few years, but look how long he's been gone as a regular. You almost have an entire new generation of kids that will buy Rey Mysterio masks.
Actually,
are those masks gonna sell as good if he's on 205 Live?
Yeah, I think it would.
No, I don't.
It's right after SmackDown, so the people that are there were there. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, you could whisper at Chewy's tooth. I got it right here, pal. Yeah, the kids still love Ray, but here's the thing: SmackDown is obviously going to the show going to Fox. They're going to cater to the family. He could probably be on there, and then possibly be on 205 Live as well.
Oh yeah, and I think it's not even a prediction. I think it's a lock, stock, barrel guarantee at this point. The Rey Mysterio comeback day is SmackDown 1000.
Might be that. Yeah, that's coming up in October.
That's in October also, along with the Fox move.
Yeah, see, plus dark matches, you can see Ray mix it up with SmackDown stars and then do the 205 Live. Yeah, exactly. But here's my thing. Going along with your theory, okay? Do you think they wouldn't have gave Andrade Cien Almas the title already? You think they would have gave him the push the way they gave Jinder Mahal that quick push? But out of the two that were more deserving of it, it would be Andrade Cien Almas because of his past success, unlike Jinder Mahal that didn't really have that name before.
I think they were scared that he was a little too green at the time, or they would have gave him the push over Jinder. But then he had that injury issue too.
Yeah, I think he would have got it though already. I still think they would have pushed it. So I don't know if that. Of course, you're going to want to get all demographics. That's why they're moving to Fox. That's why they do the things they do. They strategically do it. They got in. You just took the word out of my mouth. Jinder was reaction to them airing in India. That's why he won the title last year.
Ooh, wait a minute.
That he took right out of. Damn you. Which one is the wrestling college? Is this Ryan or is it, which one is this one? Because we got Super Loser Boys. I guess we'll figure out which one. Because there are two. Oh, this one's Lou. What's up, Lou? He's the one that's sick. I hope you feel better, buddy. He was missing from the show today. But yeah, that is right. Ryan is Super Loser Boy. Okay, cool. Yeah, Jinder was a reaction to that. But you know what? He was getting better over time. And I think that opportunity that he got catapulted him. And I think he got better from it. And again, yes, you're going to cater. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. I did cut you off.
Oh, I've been holding back this thought because it just popped in my head because we were having the talk about what is there for Ray to do if he hits that main roster and not 205. I have the perfect feud. It is Randy Orton, and it's Randy Orton hands down. After this whole stuff is finished with Jeff Hardy eventually, what more perfect thing to do than have a returning Rey Mysterio with that extreme fan favorite pop, and that's the next guy that the fans beloved that Randy tries to take out.
Man,
I think
that works because 2006 he eliminated him from the Rumble.
I think it would work. I mean,
he could bring back the past. It could work.
I would love the U.S. title involved, but honestly, for a Rey Mysterio and Randy Orton feud, I don't think you need it involved even.
No title involved.
Let's have him finish off,
man, that would be a great angle.
Jeff Hardy.
Mm-hmm.
That's the feud I got right there.
That would work. Chewy is 239. You could do exclamation point Twitter. You can send us a link through Twitter, pal. Okay, and I'll take a look for you. Yeah, dude, I could see that because it would make sense. Like 06. Couple opportunities where Randy Orton tried to beat Rey Mysterio. Royal Rumble being eliminated, okay? Then they got that triple threat match. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Who won?
Ray.
There you go.
There's some stuff they could tie into it.
Well, yeah, there was probably things along the way, too, but, that could be eaten away at him, if you get what I'm saying. Like, that's eaten away. Like, I never got my... there could be other things I could go with, but I get what you're saying, that he wants to take out everyone that's been over and respect them over him.
Be a real good one.
Yeah, it would be a good one, but I think one of the things he'll probably bring up is that '06 where he had 2 opportunities. All right, thanks, man. Thank you for popping in. And thank you for the follow. He had 2 opportunities to defeat him and failed at both, so this is his chance to redeem himself, but in the process, on his mission to destroy anyone that gets more respect over him. Because in his eyes, he feels like the fans aren't respecting him.
And a returning Rey Mysterio would get a shit ton of respect.
Yep, exactly. I'm with you on that one. Shout Gamon's welcome to the show. Just watched that match last night, the triple threat. Yeah, actually, you know what I just watched too, because we covered this a lot, and really with the news of Jim the Anvil Neidhart, I watched SummerSlam 1990, and the reason I love that event so much because I was actually at that one in 1990. I was 7 years old, and one of my favorite matches was Jim the Anvil Neidhart and Bret Hart versus Demolition, 2 out of 3 falls.
Everybody loved that match. That was all-time GOAT status for tag team matches.
Yeah.
I do want to touch on something, and then we can go more into Anvil if you want.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
But I have a lot of respect for someone, and that's Bubba Ray. I do. But this mother effer.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
On Twitter.
Yeah.
A little too far. Like, what's the matter at what point of the match someone does a tribute to someone?
He felt that... Oh, go ahead.
Well, let's just say I didn't see him out there tweeting WWE why they waited 2.5 hours into the show to do a tribute. He didn't diss them, but yet he's going to try to call out Revival because they did a tribute over halfway into the match. Like,
it does seem a little safe. Yeah.
If you're going to have that kind of conversation and try to diss them, then you have the balls to actually call out WWE then. But to me, the tribute was fine by WWE.
Oh, yeah.
No problem timing or the video of it. But you can't sit there and say that shit. You can't tell another grown-ass man at what point in the night that he's supposed to do a tribute to someone. That's his right to do it however which way he pleases.
Oh, trust me. And his argument was not only the placement of it, but the biggest argument was the fact that that move was used as a finisher. Then now all of a sudden it was used as a move and the guy kicked out. Well, think about it this way. Let's think about the
get kicked out of these days.
Hulk Hogan's leg drop.
And what was the motherfucker? They were just talking about him. McIntyre, not McIntyre. Corbin from Raw.
Okay.
Corbin won his match, and Corey Graves pointed it out that he won his match with a non-finishing move. He specifically said that.
Well, what's wrong with that these days? Like, that's the thing that's missing.
That's what I'm saying. So these guys do a finish move. Yeah, they didn't get the pin. Okay. And how many times has one of these females, I forget which one loves it. Oh, Sasha Banks. How many has Sasha Banks done an Eddie Guerrero frog splash and not got the win?
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying.
That
because
was his finishing move, right?
Yeah. Well,
So
Body Slam was a finisher.
Where's the same logic then? Be consistent if you're going to do that. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I think he felt like if they used that move, they should have won with the move. But think about half the moves that were used during that time, like the big splash from the Ultimate Warrior. That's nothing. Think about the. You know what I'm surprised.
Leg drop from Hogan, the atomic leg drop.
Yeah. Exactly, the $1 Million Dream.
The big boot where it seemed like Hogan touched you with his fucking pinky, like Kevin Nash did. That one, remember that?
Yeah, you know who was good with the big boot though.
Hogan's big boot.
You know who was good with the big boot was obviously Test. Test was really good with the big boot.
Oh, Test. Oh, God. Test was amazing.
He's missed. I know. Sucks that he's gone. But, yeah, I get what he's saying. Like, if they were going to use that, they should have went over on that.
I don't even get it.
Well, I get what he's saying. I understand what he's saying. Do I agree with it? No.
Shot at a tag team that is finally starting to get some momentum and get slightly over with the crowd, whether it's a positive or a negative, whatever. They are finally getting a push. Don't go out there and throw shade on their fucking name. is all I'm saying. Yeah, keep your opinion to yourself in that case. If you're not going to call everybody out equally, then don't just single up a up-and-coming tag team like that. I didn't care for that.
Yeah, and Revival's a really good tag team. They're going to be tag champs pretty soon. I think they're going to go a few matches with the B team, a nice program, and it might be the end with them coming out on top with, with the B team dropping titles to them.
And if you want to troll a tag team, go out there and troll AOP while they're losing to Titus Worldwide if you want to troll people. Yeah,
exactly. But again, that's where I was just going to respond to Wrestling College. What he said was Dudley Boys reunion. That will never happen for a couple of reasons. One, Bully Ray, Bubba Ray, very critical of the creative. That's why they left. That's why he went to Ring of Honor. And Devon is doing what he's doing with the WWE, but he's also running the Team 3D Academy down in Florida. Yeah. And then Bully Ray's running the one up in Connecticut. So, you were kidding. Okay. All right. He said he was kidding.
The main reason Devon is still even involved with the WWE is because of his boys. So he's trying to get his boys up and coming. And they're fairly talented, what little bit I've seen from them. But I'm telling you, if it was not for them boys, there is no way Devon would be there either, in my opinion.
You know what's funny is that during that time, even he has that little persona now that he's still, he's a heel, and he goes by that traditional that he won't talk to people. He was kind of like that in the late, towards his ECW run. But I talked to Devon during that same time. Nicest guy you ever meet. Got his autograph. Very approachable. You can talk to him.
And that's not a dude. There's very few dudes. Like, you look at the Evan Mofo and you see his attitude and stuff like that, but you will not cross that man's family. I am telling you that right now. That man looks like he could just turn on that light switch so effing quick. Woo.
Devon's so nice. He gets the... he gets the tables, exactly. No, but I actually met him.
The better question to that is, how many splinters do you think Devon's gotten in his wrestling career?
Oh, probably quite a few. I'll tell you right now, I still got a mark from when I was speared through a table. A chunk of it got me on the side. Maybe I'll follow us on Twitter, because I'll take a picture of it and tweet it out after the show. Yeah, from my back here wrestling days. Was not the smartest move. I remember in the match, I felt something dripping, and it was blood. I'm like, why? What the hell? And then I pulled a chunk out of a table, because when I went through, the chunk punctured the side of me. Luckily, it didn't go any further. Yeah. Oh, that's amongst many things that happened in my career, and I could get into it later on. We were actually pretty serious with that. We had a booking crew. We had 2 locations to wrestle. We traveled from one location to another, so it didn't get out of hand. Like the neighbors didn't get fed up with it. So 4 weeks consecutively having all these people watching us. No, we would do one location this week, the following. We'll alternate back and forth. We took it very seriously. So I can give you stories as we go along with the show. And then I got the ultimate bomb, which no one believes, but I could tweet out a photo if you don't believe it. Would you care for me to tell that story?
Sure. Let him rip.
Okay, I'm going to start it off with this, okay? Stitch nuts.
Now.
Okay, now here we go. Actually, the anniversary just came by. It was August of 97. I was in a ladder match with my friend John. Johnny Shipwreck was his name, and yeah, I know, Mikey Whipwreck kind of stole the name. That was his own persona. He kind of looked like an islander. That was his thing. So the high spot in the match was I was going up my friend's shed with a ladder, straddling the ladder. And what the move was, the high spot was I was going to straddle that ladder, go down with it to my friend that's on a table, and go through the table with him, with the ladder, and me straddling it. That was the part. Now, we didn't have that double-sided ladder, so we had that one side. And on that top, they had that little paint stand on the top that you flap. Now on the other edge, it's that sharp spot. Now, when I went through it, when I first leaped down, and I'm going down straddling the ladder, my friend last second decided not to take the bump. He decided to bail. So I go through the table with the ladder. Next thing you know, I felt something hit, I thought it was thigh. I'm like, damn. I got cut up. 8 stitches. I cut my nutsack from a ladder and got 8 stitches from it. And the worst part about it was summer, so I'm wearing white shorts because it was like that. That was my, like, I had like white tight shorts, so that was my like wrestling gear. So that turned pretty damn quick. Now, I'm going to get my friend on. Because I actually we just ran into each other not too long ago, and we're talking again. Because we lost touch after a while. I will get him on to talk about that. I didn't tear it off, thank God I didn't, but it was enough to do damage. As far as able to create life, obviously I have a kid. No, it was close. It was close. And then I had to take it, dude. It sucked.
Did it fall out and you had to pack it back in?
No, but it was like the front part, and it was bleeding bad. But here's the thing that sucked the most. I'm 13 years old. Just the slightest, like a reveal of a breast. Like if you see a centimeter of breast, your dick is popping up. You're getting a hard on. I had to take a pill during that process while I was stitched to prevent that from happening. You believe that shit? No, whacking off. Couldn't even watch porno. It sucked when you're 13 and just exploring all this shit. So, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, there you go. And I'll probably have to explain that a couple times over the years here. Man, I feel like I was watching and someone did that. I don't know. The way I told the story, I guess, is what you're saying. Yeah, so that's no joke. I'm not lying. And I'll get the guy that I was in the match with. Because, again... And here's the funny part. We used to use this show. It was called Preston and Steve, which they're big in Philadelphia. They had this segment called Bizarre Stories, where people could call in and tell about any crazy story that's happened to them. We used to use that as a way to promote. This is pre-internet, so this was our way of promoting things. And people knew, because a lot of people in Philadelphia listened to them. So... to promote a move that we were going from one location to another, we would tell a crazy wrestling story. And I always said that story with me was off limits. I was like, that's one I want off limits. I don't want it to be told. Because this was our big show, we had to promote it. My friend completely ignored what I felt, how I felt about that, and just told the story. Next thing you know, I'm sitting there and I'm playing the game. At the time it was PlayStation 1. And all of a sudden, I hear that story. I flipped shit over that. I was fucking pissed. Mr. Two Belts, thank you for the host. But, I know. Again, I'll get my friend to tell you, because I like the way he tells it, too. It's because they said it was, like me, I was in shock, but people were horrified for what they saw. And to get their side of it, it's more animated than mine. Mine was, I was in shock because, holy shit, I cut my nuts. Theirs was like, holy shit, he cut his nuts. I think it was more of a shock to them than it was to me. So where were we before we went into that?
Whoa. We need further details. Hey, we can't move on just yet.
Oh, go ahead. All right. What questions?
Well, the real question needs to be, like, I don't want to sound racist, but I'm going to say this. Okay, so bear with me. If you're in the hood, and you get shot, your homie runs up to you and tries to put pressure on the wound. What I need to know is, did anybody run up to you and put pressure on the wound?
Yeah, girl I was dating at the time did.
Hey, there you go.
Laura Function. If I'm going to put out a name, fuck it. I doubt Laura Function. The girl I was dating at the time did. Yeah.
You were dating a girl named
Laura Function.
Oh. I thought you said Laura. I'm like,
oh yeah, Lars Sullivan.
Is that the man piece from Metallica? Is Lars?
Yeah, Lars Sullivan. Yes. No. No. Yeah, it was a girl I was dating at the time. And then if people always ask, were you able to reproduce? No shit, I have a kid, and I mean, I really can't deny.
Yeah.
I can't deny. No, she looks like me, and there's no denying it. And the way she acts. She's a hyper little shit like how I am, if you can't tell people. But, yeah, it was a difficult time for me. And the sad part is, I had to have stitches, it was a little over a month, so we had a big show in September, so we played it off. we did a segment that knocked me pretty much off the shows for a month, and I still wrestled. Like 2 days after I had him taken out, I wrestled again, like a dummy. That's how committed we were to backyard wrestling, okay? Yeah. And I actually have some tapes en route because I'm going to get them the DVD, and I will put them on this channel. You would get to see me with a mop top in 1996. You're going to see me with a buzz cut pretty much in the year 2000.
Smashing your nuts open? Are we getting that video too?
I want to see if we have that. Most of my collection was destroyed in the flood in my parents' house. But there's people that I'm getting in contact with that some of them still have tapes to this day. Now, these tapes are going 20 years old, VHS, and they still got them. That just shows you how dorky they are still. They're still carrying stuff from 20 years ago that we did. I mean, it's not like you got SummerSlam 98. No, it's Heatwave 98, you know? That was our SummerSlam, by the way. Kind of ripped off ECW. But you know what? Things have been ripped off from us, too. Just saying.
And almost had your nuts ripped off.
Yeah, that, too. But it was worth it. It was a lot of fun. It got us out of trouble. That's... And, here's the thing. This is the one thing I had. Actually, let me get this out, and then we'll move on. Because we've got very little time left, because I'm going to have to wake my kid up in a little bit from our nap. One thing I will say is that my parents, when I had to go home and explain to them I cut my area, they asked, how did I do it? I had to lie to them and tell them that we were doing American Gladiators, okay? Now, remind you, I'm 13. Okay? And I'm doing an American Gladiators event where I was tightrope walking a fence, and I fell. That's what I said. It was the lamest excuse, but I think they knew what happened, that it was wrestling related. They weren't dumb. They knew what I was doing. I came back with bruises. I needed various stitches. I mean, if you put on a neon light, I'd look weird with all the marks I've had on my head from over the years, but... Yeah, that was the lame excuse I gave my parents, which I knew they probably thought I was full of shit. But I can't straight out say that. Oh, this is what happened. No, can't do it. So, all right, let's move along. All right, so we're done with 205 Live. Let's go on, and we'll finish the show with this. And that's, of course, this week we lost Jim the Anvil Neidhart. And it's a huge blow for people like myself and D-Shep that are old enough to see the gifts that he has given us over the years, because that man was a hell of a wrestler. And it was a sin after the breakup of the Hart Foundation that he just really didn't find that success that he had prior to hooking up with Bret Hart.
It didn't even seem like they ever really tried with
no.
him either, though.
But the thing is, I think he had it. He did.
Oh, yeah.
And they just didn't give him the shot. He was a big guy, but he wasn't a tall big guy, if you get what I'm saying. Like, he wasn't the size of a Hulk Hogan. He was not as far tall. I mean, it was the land of the Giants. He was a thick guy, but he wasn't a tall guy. And in the land of the Giants, you did not succeed at that. You did not go anywhere in the WWF with that.
You have one surviving member of the Five.
I know.
Foundation.
Yeah, we lost what? When did we lose Bulldog? Was that a 1 or 2?
Oh, I can't. When it's that far back, I can't give you the year.
I think someone in chat can take care of that, but I remember we lost Pillman in 97. And that was on the day of our pay-per-view, which I'm shocked they even went along with it, but given what they did in 99, it doesn't surprise me, actually. Man Lillard dies in a fucking ring and they continue. Did you ever agree with that, by the way? Do you agree that they should, with Owen Hart's situation, that they should have ended the show? I think they should have
ended it, absolutely.
That is the biggest, question that I would ask anyone that's a fan even during that time. I think the fans would even understood it if they ended the show.
Let's put it this way. If they ended the show and they took care of things the right way, could it be a more higher possibility that Owen Hart's in the Hall of Fame right now? Because
he would have. Yeah, he would have been. He would have been.
The wife has a hell of a long list of complaints when it comes to her husband. She has every right to.
Yep.
Her husband.
Yeah,
it
definitely.
ain't our right to tell her what. But the disrespect she had to feel that she watched that, whether she was there or on TV, I can't remember. I always forget. She seen that happen, and then they just picked up and kept going with the show?
Yep.
I don't know. I couldn't forgive that.
No, those matches were awful after that, too, and you can't blame them for that. The matches were awful. No, it was October 97. I'm talking about Bulldog. I knew when that happened, because it was, oh, shit, what's the, Bad Blood.
No, we were talking.
Yeah.
We were talking about Owen just now.
Yeah, well, we were talking Owen, but I'm responding to chat. I'm sorry. They're asking when Pillman died. No, I'm asking when Bulldog. I know when Pillman died. He died the day of Bad Blood, which was the first ever Hell in a Cell match between Undertaker and Shawn Michaels. That was I know about that one. I just can't remember for the life of me when Bulldog passed, because I remember he had another run in 2000, and they threw him right in the freaking world title scene. He was part of the six-pack challenge, remember, in October of 2000. 02. Okay, there you go. I knew it was 01 or 02. I knew it wasn't sure. It was shortly after his run with the WWE. Yeah, he had the jeans run. Yeah, that was, wow. I remember when he got rock bottom into the turds. But let's go back to Jim the Anvil Neidhart. Now, what match, out of all the matches, which one was your favorite that he was a part of?
Oh, it's easy, the Demolition match.
Same with me.
There's no doubt in my mind.
That was...
I don't even have to think about that.
Yeah, dude, being there at 7 years old, it was awesome to see that they got over and beat Demolition. Because here's the thing, it was like the Freebirds rule. There was three of them. There was Crush, Axe, and Smash. And they were mixing it up, switching over, trying to fool, the referee, doing anything to get over on the Hart Foundation, and it still didn't work. And they came out on top. Dude, that was one of my favorite, not only tag team matches, but also my favorite Jim the Neidhart match. And it's also extra special because I was there to witness that 28 years ago. I'm old as shit. Does that depress you in a way? Thinking about that?
Yeah, sometimes.
Thinking about oh man, I was 7 years old when that happened. 7 years old. And that's 28 years ago. For people that can't add, that's 35. I'm 35. I think D-Shep's 47. But, yeah, it's a sin. I mean, and you know what? One thing he did do, besides have a legendary career as a tag team wrestler, he also, had a kid, and she's a success in the WWE right now. I mean, Natalya. Now, here's my question for you. Do you think in any way that they'll give her a title push because of that? You know how they kind of did that with Rey Mysterio when Eddie died? You think they're going to do something like that?
No.
No?
No, I don't. The only way I could see that happen is they would have to turn her heel and go up against Ronda, and then they could do that angle with the, training partner turning on her.
Turning on her, yeah.
From that aspect, I can see it, but I don't know if after the Anvil dies, if that's the right time to turn Natty heel, though. That just...
No, not now. No, not now. I mean, at least a few months down the road. That's what...
I still would consider that now. I think a heel turn would have to be minimum a year.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess we'll find out.
Whenever she does come back, she's going to get cheered beyond belief. I can't imagine.
Yeah, well, wouldn't surprise us. They have done it before. Stupid Loser Boy said also the Stampede match, the Canadian Stampede in 97 was pretty decent, though he was hardly the focus. Dude, that match was incredible. That whole Canada versus U.S. thing was huge during that time. And they just came organically. They just ran with it because, again, this is the time when they would do things like that. If something hit, it was hot, they ran with it. Same thing with Stone Cold. Same thing with the U.S. and Canada. Today, they're just afraid to do that. Today, they just force a narrative, and you just got to go with it. And one of it is the Roman Reigns situation. I'm still trying to figure out where they're going to go with that. And I guess we'll find out Sunday. But it's good to think about how they're going to go with it. But at the end of the day, you're going to watch to see what happens. Actually, do you have anything else, sir?
No, I think we'll save that other thing for Saturday.
Oh, yeah. For those that are in here, make sure you watch the show, the Go Home Wrestling Show. Saturday nights, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can either watch it on here on Mixer and YouTube. We also have it there. I guess we'll call it for the show today. If we could do another pop-up show tomorrow, I'll do it. And I have a couple topics we could talk about that won't be covered on Saturday. So we'll get into that then. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for the follows today. And hey,
Thank you.
yeah, we had a good crowd. We thank you so much. And we'll see you next time. And if we don't see you either tomorrow or Friday, we'll see you Saturday night at 11. And also, just a reminder, even though, I mean, we didn't take any calls, but you can call the show. Don't be afraid. It's all good. But, alright, guys. We'll see you next time on the Go Home Wrestling Show. Later, everybody. Thank you.